In the final stretch of the 2024 election, Donald Trump's campaign is in a state of disarray following a catastrophic event at Madison Square Garden. What many expected to be a pivotal rally has now become a viral example of divisive rhetoric, shaking undecided voters across the U.S. As multiple conflicting messages emerge from his campaign, the backlash has only intensified, particularly among the Latino community, who are using platforms like TikTok to urge others not to support Trump. With high-profile celebrities, including Bad Bunny and Jennifer Lopez, amplifying this wave of dissent, the Trump campaign is feeling the heat as undecided voters shift their support. A national disgrace, Madison Square Garden's hate rally. From the moment Trump's team announced a rally at Madison Square Garden, anticipation was high. Supporters touted it as a grand reawakening of Trump's appeal, a public opportunity to project strength and charisma. However, what unfolded on that stage was viewed by many as a troubling display of intolerance. In stark contrast to what his campaign called a celebration of American values, the rally quickly descended into what critics are calling a hate rally. Notably, the event featured a comedian who insulted Puerto Rico, referring to it as a floating garbage island, echoing Trump's own past comments disparaging various communities. Public reaction was swift and unrestrained. Trump's campaign surrogates rushed to contain the fallout but delivered inconsistent and conflicting messages. Some, like Byron Donalds, attempted to spin the event as a show of Trump's so-called alpha dominance, claiming this was the behavior of a true leader. Yet, as multiple videos surfaced of the offensive comments, critics were quick to ask, is this leadership? Others, like Trump spokesperson Caroline Leavitt, downplayed the entire incident, stating that the audience seemed fine with the comments. However, such dismissals fell flat with viewers across the country who were disturbed by the rhetoric. The viral response, TikTok's Puerto Rican and Latino uprising. The backlash was particularly fierce among Puerto Rican and Latino communities on social media. Across TikTok, videos of disgusted Puerto Rican and Latino users quickly amassed millions of views, highlighting a collective refusal to tolerate what they see as open bigotry. In video after video, users expressed horror and frustration, urging others to wake up to Trump's treatment of Latino communities. A number of them recounted past grievances, from Trump's handling of Puerto Rican disaster relief to his comments about Latino immigrants, creating a compelling narrative that is swaying previously undecided voters. This viral movement caught fire, with prominent figures like Bad Bunny, Jennifer Lopez, and Ricky Martin taking to social media to condemn the rally. For Trump's campaign, these endorsements are a nightmare, further illustrating how the rally's rhetoric is turning some of Trump's largest and most influential critics into active campaigners against him. Alpha defense backfires. Byron Donalds and Caroline Leavitt's defense of Trump. In the wake of the disaster, Trump surrogates have scrambled to recast the rally in a positive light. Republican Congressman Byron Donalds, a vocal Trump supporter, appeared on television defending the president's behavior as that of an alpha male, stating that this is just what alphas do. The statement sparked ridicule and controversy, with many finding the alpha male framing a thinly veiled excuse for toxic rhetoric. Critics argued that real strength lies in unity and respect, not divisive grandstanding. On the other hand, Trump spokesperson Caroline Leavitt attempted to mitigate the damage by downplaying the rally's negative tone, claiming the joke about Puerto Rico was obviously in poor taste and did not reflect the campaign's views. However, given Trump's long history of inflammatory remarks, Leavitt's excuse was widely dismissed. To undecided voters, the rally's tenor and the ensuing defense underscored concerns about Trump's character and suitability for office. Early voting data signals troubling signs for Trump. The backlash appears to be reflected in early voting patterns, particularly among demographics that were key to Trump's previous successes. In states like Arizona, North Carolina, and Georgia, early polling indicates that Vice President Kamala Harris holds a lead among early voters, a trend that is even more pronounced in Latino communities. Polls conducted by the New York Times and ABC/Ipsos suggest Harris leading by margins as wide as 11 points among early voters in these swing states, despite a higher number of Republican early voters overall. This trend is significant, given that Trump's campaign strategy previously relied heavily on rallying Election Day voters. The fact that early voters, traditionally more Democratic, are showing such strong support for Harris could suggest a larger wave of dissent growing across the electorate. It also reflects the enduring impact of Trump's comments and the viral TikTok backlash among undecided and minority voters, who are crucial in this tightly contested race. Trump's secret plan with Speaker Johnson, a desperate move? Amid the mounting panic, Trump teased a secret plan with House Speaker Mike Johnson, hinting at a tactic to interfere with the electoral outcome. This vague suggestion has been widely interpreted as a potential attempt to leverage the 12th Amendment, which would involve the House deciding the election if no candidate secures a majority in the Electoral College. However, for this plan to succeed, Trump would need to prevent either candidate from winning outright, a difficult feat, especially given the wave of early voter enthusiasm favoring Harris. Legal experts have pointed out that such a move, if attempted, would face significant constitutional challenges. But Trump's remarks reveal his growing desperation and willingness to exploit any possible route to retain power, no matter how controversial or undemocratic it may appear. His repeated references to winning by any means necessary underscore a determination to hold onto his base, even if it means alienating undecided voters. Public figures and political leaders respond. Biden and Harris weigh in. On the Democratic side, President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris responded strongly to Trump's Madison Square Garden appearance. In a recent statement, Biden expressed disappointment, calling Trump's rhetoric embarrassing and beneath the office. He emphasized the importance of character, implying that Trump's behavior disqualifies him as a leader. Meanwhile, Vice President Harris echoed this sentiment, highlighting how Trump's rhetoric serves to divide rather than unite, portraying herself as the candidate of inclusivity and progress. Both Biden and Harris positioned their responses as a call for national unity and character, aiming to capture the votes of those disillusioned by Trump's divisive tactics. Their statements resonated with many, particularly as early voting trends continue to lean in Harris's favor. As Election Day approaches, the fallout from Trump's Madison Square Garden rally remains a pivotal issue, driving undecided voters to reconsider their support. The rally and its subsequent defense highlighted the Trump campaign's struggle to control its messaging, and the viral TikTok backlash underscored the discontent within key voting blocs. With early voting trends suggesting a potential shift toward Harris, Trump's desperate measures, hinting at electoral interference and leaning into a hardline rhetoric, may ultimately alienate more voters than they attract. For the undecided Americans watching, the final stretch of this election offers a stark choice. Will they endorse Trump's divisive rhetoric or opt for a future of unity and respect as promised by his opposition? The answer may very well lie in the videos, comments, and polls that have flooded social media, creating a wave of voices calling for change.